So today I would like to talk about the rest of my A Song of Ice and Fire theory as far as the transfer of heat goes. So, yeah. I'll be breaking this into, let's count them off real quick. Cooperative magic. That's what this video is going to be about. We got radiation magic. We got conductive magic. We have convective magic. And then the thing that I feel ties all of these together is the blood magic. So, those 5 things. This video will be on cooperative magic, which basically just means that, like, all of these are in play all at the same time, and none of them are mutually exclusive from one another. So let's get into that. It's kind of my biggest... I'm gonna do this to where hopefully the sound is a little bit better now. I'm just putting my hand over my phone. I'm gonna get a tripod and some, like, actual audio equipment. Anyway. I don't got time for that shit. I'm off in the woods all the time. But, cooperative magic is basically that. Like, you can have 2 systems of magic going at the same time. So you can have, conductive magic and, convective magic going at the same time with, like, the green seers, because they use blood magic, which is, like, blood is a liquid, so it's convective, and then they're using that to enhance or, like, augment the conductive magic of the weirwoods. So, like, they can go into the weirwoods and then they can taste the blood, and the weirwoods can gain knowledge or gain the life of the blood. You know, that kind of stuff. So, I don't think any of them are mutually exclusive. I think that's why we have, like, blue flames and white flames and, like, hot is cold, cold is hot, like, just all of these dualities going across. And, like, that's what I think the main archetypes of, like, A Song of Ice and Fire do, is, like, they are a representation of themselves, in the fact that they are a representation of a whole bunch of things that are in no other thing the same combination that they are. So, like, Dani is Azura High Reborn as a fiery moon goddess really hard. But, like, she also has, like, who is it? The Night's Queen symbolism and stuff. So, like, there's always, like, a duality going on. It's never one thing. And that's basically cooperative magic, in my theory, is that, like, and something else that's gonna be throughout all of these videos, and the reason that blood magic is the 5th one, is that blood magic runs through all of them. And, it, like, binds them all together, which is why blood magic is the most powerful form of magic. And the cooperative magic, I'll end on this as an example of blood magic. I think I'll do that. I'll end everything on how blood magic relates to it. Excuse me. I still don't have advanced editing equipment, so these are all mostly uncut. I hope you can endure my strange back and forths between myself and random intermissions like me belching. You know, just the usual shit. But, the cooperative magic between like radiation and blood magic, like fire magic and blood magic, is astronomical. And I think that is the main reason why Valyrian magic is based on fire and blood, is because, like, if you have just fire magic, then you're just burning everything away. But, like, the dragons need meat, and the dragons need blood, and they need fuel, and they need to ingest fuel, because, like, I think they obviously do better when they're in warm climates, when they're next to volcanoes, when the sun is out all the time, so summertimes they are very powerful. But they can't just survive off of radiation. They need radiation and blood magic. And the reason for that is that, like, if they just kept everything that's inside of them, they would burn themselves out eventually. Like, they would run out of fuel because, like, they're a finite resource. And everything is a finite resource inside of A Song of Ice and Fire. Like, the alchemical traditions of equivalent exchange run deep in there. And that's why, like, there's a deep balance between all of the systems of magic, but there's still, like, the most powerful, which is blood magic, and that's just because it can interact with any of them. And, like, I think they all react to each other in a way, but, like, it may not be, entirely cooperative. I just woke up. I woke up, immediately watched a Lucifer Means Lightbringer podcast, and now I'm here talking more about mythical astronomy of Ice and Fire, and I would not rather be doing anything else, even though it's summertime in the forest, so I could be in the forest. I'm gonna let in a little light. Wait, hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay. But I'll end with, like, an example of when you only use fire magic, and that is, Arya Targaryen? Aegon the Uncrowned's wives and their daughter who flew off on Balerion. Someone was walking down outside. Anyway, their daughter who flew off on Balerion probably went to Valyria, according to Septim Barth at least, and then got the fireworms. So in his Dracomorph video, which is the one that I was just watching, LML describes this as, like, well, maybe if there were Valyrian blood mages there, then she could have combined with the bloodworms. And I absolutely agree, because, like, I think if you have just fire magic, then you're gonna burn people out. Like, Beric has been trying to die since he first died. Like, he keeps going to war and keeps trying to, like, complete his death. He's like, no, I'm supposed to go after the mountain till I die. And I've already died like 6 times. 6 times, Thoros. It's too many. Like, poor fucking Beric. like, he's just being consumed by fire magic, and that's one example. But Arya Targaryen, I think if they had performed blood magic for her, she would have survived in a better condition. But I think that if they had just let her alone and let her birth the fireworm shit, like those like worms with the shadows of faces on them is how I would describe them. Because it's like they had faces and hands, but it didn't say human faces and hands. But it didn't say, like, when you say faces and hands, like, you think, oh. So, like, if they had allowed her to do that, I think that would, in a way, be, like, what Melisandre is trying to do, and all of the, like, because I think Relorism is kind of the purest form. Like, I think, like, Relorism, the Drowned God, the Green Seers, and the White Walkers, and then the Shadowbinders, who I think are modern day blood mages. Like, I think they're kind of like the purists of their magical traditions. And so, like, I think Melisandre, if she were to become a purely fire person, would get burned to a crisp, and she would always be awake because she would always be in pain and always feel like she is on fire. And, like, that's what Arya Targaryen was doing, is becoming a pure fire person. And it wasn't until they were like, well, maybe we should dunk her in a bucket of ice. Like, that would be good for her, right? And then they did, and she just went and died. Because, like, wrong thing. Like, it was radiation, and, like, water can allow radiation to go through it. See, and this is where, like, you know, there's always the crossover. And there's always cooperative magic. I've stayed relatively on topic this entire time. I'm so proud of myself. I'm gonna try to continue this trend with the next videos. But, like, yeah, that's an example of, like, when cooperative magic isn't used, sorcery becomes much more of a sword with no hilt. But I don't think that's to say that, like, all magic, like, burns you the same. So, like, I think the heat transfer thing is the most important part of it, because, like, I think, like, with Thoros and Beric, with their, because Thoros is using our Lorist, Kiss of Life, or not Kiss of Life, the Last Kiss, or fuck, I forget what it's called. I gotta research this shit before I make a video. But he's giving him the Lord's own kiss, and like, in that instance, I think he's not so much, like, blowing Beric's soul back into his body so much as he is blowing like, life and energy and radiation into his body, which is going to tear up his whole, like, internal workings, to where he's just like, walk around, be alive, die for Robert sometimes. Oh god, there's someone else I can dies. And then Lady Stoneheart. But like, I think Lady Stoneheart, if she starts getting blood on her, I think that will tell very, very like, it will be very, very telling. Not it will tell, sorry. See, my brain does things like this. This is why I'm a better writer, because I can go back and just gotta create a script. That's all I need to do. But I hate typing on my phone. I need like a Bluetooth keyboard. That would be the best thing for me. And then I can type whatever I want. Anyway. To wrap up cooperative magic, like, I think Lady Stoneheart is going to be like the epitome of this. So like, she keeps hanging the phrase. So she is like, she's using that conductive magic, and like, she's not using like fire magic so much right now. She was revived with fire magic, and like the Brotherhood Without Banners continue to fight with her, and they're kind of Relorist. I don't know if Lady Stoneheart is Relorist though. Like, I think she has a lot of like inner conflict going on, because like she was born and raised in the faith in River Run, promised to a Northman, got not the wrong Northman, but like got his little brother. So I had to go through that. His little brother is like a very devout worshiper of the old gods, and like she's always felt unwelcome there. And then like she prays and like helps her son go to war and all of this stuff, and then she dies. And like all of her prayers, like for Rob's safety, for just to get them back to the north, just for like to see Ned again, and all of these things just have probably shattered her in a way that we don't even really comprehend at this moment. She probably has so much inner conflict going on, because now, like, that's probably why I'm pretty sure Thoros and Lady Stoneheart don't run together, because I don't think they like each other too much. Is that right? Or like, he just feels off put by her, and like they don't have the same agendas. But I think that's what's going on with her, is that now she has like this Relorist religion trying to say like, oh, we're the right thing, we brought you back. And she's just like out for revenge, and she's like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna be the goddess, and I'm gonna be the one that's judging and bringing life and death to people. And I think if she ever like enacts like blood sacrifice, like she just cuts someone's throat herself, if she gets like sprayed with blood, and then like she's able to absorb the blood magic from like a really strong like Azor Ahai archetype figure, or so probably like Jamie, or Brienne, just that sword of the morning kind of figure who like has weird dreams and has prophetic seeming visions, and we have a lot of these people. So like, if she ever decides like, oh no, I'm just gonna like cut this person's throat myself, and she does, and she like becomes a blood mage, I think that we will be able to see her become more herself, because she will be like, oh, I know the true way, like, and then she will become kind of like the new Weirwood goddess, where she's like, all of this shit is like the same shit, and that she is gonna be like the thread that connects kind of all of it, because like she's the one that can be like, hey, fire's a thing, blood magic's a thing, like the White Walkers are probably a thing, green seer stuff probably a thing, because she's probably gonna do that at some type of like Weirwood Grove, or like the High Heart, or just somewhere where there will be like, or probably Harrenhal. Ooh. Like, if we see Lady Stoneheart in Harrenhal, and she's there with that tree with the 13 marks on it, and we see her perform a blood sacrifice there, you heard it here first. So, oh, damn, this is a 20-minute long video. I will now leave you with those thoughts on cooperative magic.